seed.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump into Land of Dawn. No changes here. It's all down to execution. We'll have Twisted Minds on the blue and WAOW GG starting off on the red. Now, the Assassins versus Fredrin. We've always seen that quite a bit, and typically we favor the Assassins as a faster jungle clear, but it does seem like Hide has a little bit of help from the leash coming in, so that might mean faster rotations. How do they match all of this with the Hilda?
I mean, yeah, with the Hilda, it's something that they're going to need to use, but the problem is CC won't fall completely behind in terms of this EXP lane. The big quick rotation that WAOW GG has, I think, over the side of Twisted Minds is going to be this Farza, is going to be this Lancelot. There's going to be a lot of quick movements with the Wings by Wings. Twisted Minds needs to either kind of play it slow in the beginning, look for second, third turtle, look for those abilities when the Fredrin can really pop off here. MWI is going to be able to zone away in the beginning of this match. Ayami in a little bit of trouble.
Trapped out, unable to dash away. Already used the Revitalize on the mid lane down to Mike Wazowski, and missing a full wave and just got that level 2. Now zoning potential from Twisted Minds coming in strong. How is WAOW GG going to adapt to this early game strategy that Mina keeps constantly wanting to bring out?
Yeah, I mean, as long as WAOW GG doesn't have too much to worry about right now, I think they're in a good position. Yes, MWI is able to get the distance over Mike Wazowski currently, but once the Feathered Airstrike comes down, MWI is going to have to be careful. And as long as Mike Wazowski's able to hit a good positioning with those Feathered Airstrikes, we've seen how detrimental it can be in a lot of these team fights. Not to mention Fredrin, still a wonderful performer in Turtle Pits, still a wonderful performer in Lord Pits. And the strategy that Twisted Minds has brought can do pretty well in this.
So far for Twisted Minds, mid lane, EXP lane favoring them. Already in that level 4 or seeping into level 4, getting ready for that turtle. You got Lyrics actually zoning Deja Vu away, but Deja Vu's already in position and ready to slaughter. Well, Foss looking for a right position, aiming for a right angle. We're starting things off with Hide pulling that turtle.
I mean, Foss just kind of taking his time right now. Nobody's rushing this at all. We're waiting for the real attack to happen.
Yami taking a lot of damage. That's the fist crack onto the Lancelot. Feather Airstrike to slow things down as Lyrics chasing down Mike Wazowski, unable to hit. But down in the midst of battle, Deja Vu will fall, but Hands of Living. Luna marching down from that top side, try to get a little bit more damage as WAOW GG loses one and their priority over the turtle.
I love the attack from Lyrics there. Instead of going for, you know, the usual target for a Hilda, which is the enemy.
Oh, nice little fist crack onto 2. Pull back Ayami deep in enemy territory. AOG to stop that fight, but no one is getting knocked up. Appraiser's Wrath will seal the deal as Twisted Minds pick up yet another one. It's 1-for-1 trade.
All right, Ayame for Livin, Roamer for Roamer. Not a bad trade for either side. Turtle back on the field. Now we're still on the field. This is still first turtle. My bad, we're 3 minutes in. Normally it's gone by now, but it should be a take for Foss possibly. But Hide might not want to give it over.
Yep, Hide already one level ahead on top of Foss. Just waiting, down in 10. Retribution secured by Foss. WAOW GG gets that prio. They take what they can, and they're in, and they're out.
Very well done by WAOW GG, able to kind of prolong that fight long enough to where even though they took some deaths, they were still able to secure the neutral objective. Now earlier what I was talking about is Lyrics, instead of going for Foss, focuses down onto Mike Wazowski once the Feathered Airstrike comes. And I got a feeling we could be seeing a lot of that this game, to whereas, like I said, normally you see the Hilda always try to chase after the jungler, but I think a great target is going to be Mike Wazowski. Try not to let more than one of those Feathered Airstrikes come down every single time she pops it.
I gotta agree with you. I like the adjustments that WAOW GG has made. A little bit more defensive. They take what they can and they're out of the way. The positioning that they have, especially with Mike Wazowski, is just there to secure their objectives, try to get that gold lead as much as possible. On the other side of the table though, Twisted Minds does have the Hilda, and it kind of has that tipping point. In early game, you have that sort of advantage. When do you think that Hilda kind of, hold on a second, down the mid side, Ayame caught out, stunned up, Revitalize will keep her safe, but just for a little bit, the AOG just in nick of time brings her all the way back, and she comes home safe for the airstrike to slow down the progression. Another successful defense. Crisis averted from WAOW.
It took 2 tries of the AOG to work out before it finally made it. The first one got canceled. The second one was finally let through. And Ayame just survives with a hair.
Rika.
Rika though
might be able to go down here. Yami Here for backup. The Goon Squad coming in from that river. Might be able to slow down the approach from Twisted Minds. They might be able to take down that T1 tops though.
Ooh, Mike Wazowski knows Lyrics is constantly chasing her. But on the boss side, Foss able to take a tower for tower. Making this not look like it's going in either team's favor just yet.
Good trade, but it does look like they want to slow WAOW GG down from entering that turtle pit. Does look like Foss is actually making a beeline towards that turtle, but he's all alone.
I love the way
WAOW
that
GG.
Foss was playing that bot lane.
Yeah.
Very clean. Foss able to dash through, going to be okay. And this is what WAOW GG needs to take advantage of. Having something like the Fredrin, your team's going to want to group up. WAOW GG, if they play the map, they have an advantage.
Starting things off with the AOG. Knocks back Hide. Praises Wrath. Won't deal too much as two-man fist crack onto the wall. Fair airstrike in a nice safe position. Foss again. Another turtle secured, but gets taken down by Lyrics. Ayame onto Hide. Taking down two. Taking on one. Ayame is left all alone. Rika's here for backup, but might be enough. Ayame again toying with death and gets out safe.
A 3 for 1.
Spoke too soon, Trix.
Make it a 4-for-1 trade. WAOW GG takes too many shots to the face, all for the price of one turtle. It's only a 1K gold lead right now for Twisted Minds, but we're seeing the possibilities they can bring. I was just about to praise Mike Wazowski holding on to that feathered airstrike to the last second, but she still ended up going down. Let's take a look at the replay. This is a little bit after the AOG, and watch Mike Wazowski comes down to the boss side, waits for it, helps secure the turtle for Foss. Foss is unable to get away, but at this point, they're too deep. The rest of the team falls as well, and up in the top right corner, Lunar secures the kill. There was no escape for anybody, and I want to watch for Lunar because Lunar decides to come back. No, I'm gonna go for this. No, I'm gonna do this, and still ends up getting the kill.
Lunar starting to look like she's getting online. Locked in and ready to go. 2-0-1 for this Granger. It's only going to go up if WAOW GG does nothing to catch that Granger. And the issue with WAOW GG's draft is more of like they don't really have any high reliable crowd controls. You have the AOG, yeah, but like it's a flip of a coin. You can't really hone down on one hero hit. Livin on that back line, trying to get towards Deja Vu is Livin. Curtain call, we'll lock them in place. The fair airstrike will push them away. They save that T2 for now. Look at the bottom side though, Foss getting busy.
Foss is not going to stop. That is, I mean, that's the idea. That's the strategy. That's what you're going to have to continue to do to alleviate pressure elsewhere on the map. Foss is going to stay playing this bot side, stay playing.
Oh! Underneath the turret, Mike Wazowski gets blown up to smithereens. Meow will be the next to fall. It's a 1-to-1 trade yet again. Blow for blow, tit for tat. They might be able to wait out for this Lord now. It's 8 minutes.
I mean, even though Twisted Minds is making the flashy plays right now, WAOW GG is still very much in this game.
Gunning everyone down, trapped underneath the wall. Revitalize will keep her safe for now as they counter-engage. AOG will stop the engage from Twisted Minds just for now. Lord already spawned up. They're waiting for Foss to come online and get in position before they do anything.
That tier 2 in the boss side did finally fall as well. Long lane, or bot lane, looking very good in the hands of WAOW GG. Gold has now come back to only 1,000 lead for Twisted, and it's dropping pretty quickly. WAOW GG still very much in this game and taking advantage of the fact that Twisted Minds has to stick together. And maybe Hide knows this as well, so we're starting to see Hide kind of branch away. First Lord, we've seen Foss do so well in the turtle pits, even at Death's Door, able to get the steals. Can Foss do it again?
Lyrics already zoning out Foss. Might not be able to get into the Lord pit in time. A Priz Wrap already committed though. Hide secures the Lord for themselves as Foss running for the hills and back to safety. All they can do is play on that defense. Twisted Minds doesn't seem like they want to go for any other kills, but Lunar is coming online. Look at that damage that Death Rhapsody is actually dealing.
Lyrics did such a good job at keeping Foss away from that Lord as long as possible. They know that Foss does well there. They know every time we come into these fights, it seems like they know the objective on how to support it. Ayame.
Revitalize already popped up. A little bit of a no-no from there as Twisted Minds. They take what they can, testing a little bit more damage. Better airstrike to stop everything in place. Let it goes deep into the turret, and she falls. Huge sacrifice. It might be a turnaround for WAOW GG. AOG onto Lunar though. The Goon Squad is targeting onto Lunar as Lyrics tries to stop the engage. They are on her. The Thorn Rose will finish up that job as WAOW GG. Trying to find ways to come back. Foss with a double. Can she do it here? Making up for a triple, but Lyrics is a tough big girl to take down. That's a triple for Foss.
Where was this Foss yesterday? Why would they put her in export jungle? This girl is a monster right now, just puncturing through the back line time after time. Let's watch it from the beginning now real quick. Nope, this is a replay of their reactions. No, here it is. So Foss gets the kill on to Hide, chases him down, just does not stop at all.
Good positioning from Ayame to slow the approach from Lyrics, starting things off and down onto that back line. I like the target prioritization now. The adjustments coming up from WAOW GG is more targeted towards a key player, and they know that they need to take Luna down before the Sky Piercer stacks get out of control.
I mean, it's definitely going to start getting out of control majorly. But I got to say, WAOW GG now with a 2,000 gold lead. That is huge. The gold has substantially shifted, and the thing that adds up on top of that is even when WAOW GG was losing, they were still causing a lot of pressure on the map. That bot lane is looking rough right now. They broke through the mid-tier 3. The map is very much in their favor. Watch out for Ayame.
She saved AOG yet again, bring her out to safety, but I like the fact that you pointed out pressure. Yesterday, WAOW GG was just playing turtled, huddled up underneath their base, underneath all the turrets, playing really, really scared. But now Foss has a lot more mobility with the Lancelot. She can do so much more around that map. Look at that top side, already balanced out. She might be able to push that in before the Lord comes out in the next 30.
And this is what I mean when I say the meta's in a place where so many different compositions can work. No team is, nailed down and forced to play one type of thing. And right now we have a Fredrin and a Lancelot on the field, and both have performed well. Both have performed well in the event so far in all of MWI. And that just goes to show what is possible right now to all of these girls. What is limitless in terms of draft, in terms of composition, and WAOW GG just performing the way they need to. And it seems like it's been very much so sometimes performance over draft.
Foss tries to go in for Livin. Nice fist crack to push them all away. But from the back line, Lyrics tries to go on to Mike Wazowski. Thick girl taking all the damage, getting that tickles, and getting out of the way. The Lord is spawned up. They're getting into position right now. Yame tries to taunt Hide, try to get that damage in. Feather Airstrike to push them all away. AOG will not hit the mark as Rika finds a target onto Lunar, taking down the Granger. And they sound the alarm, sound the horns as WAOW GG wants to fight their way through.
We'll watch for Lyrics. Lyrics in the tri-bush, maybe not the best spot overall. Not going to be able to do much damage to Deja Vu.
Lyrics, it's a 1v2. She'll be able to take all that damage as WAOW GG needs to find a way to quickly burst this down before Lunar actually comes up. It's Twisted Minds just buying time for Lunar to spawn back up.
And it feels like the Bedang right now, even when the fist cracks do land, WAOW GG is just able to answer it so well. She hasn't been able to get any major targets. Mike Wazowski's always been at a decent position. Rika, 1-0-3 right now, always able to kite around. Probably one of the best games we've seen on Aerithal in a while. A lot of teams haven't been able to perform as well as others with this hero, and Rika just really being one of the game changers here.
And speaking of Rika, she is always well protected on that back line, already getting that power spike. 1-0-3, difficult to get, and always finding the right flanks onto the right targets. The only issue is for the side of WAOW GG, Deja Vu doesn't really seem to have a lot of value. Yeah, she wants to try to go towards that back line, try to get away the damage dealers from that main skirmish area, and try to push them all away, try to play a front-to-back composition. Now, this is where things get spicy. They see Farsa down on the bottom side. Twisted Minds might be able to pull the alarm now.
All right, so both teams still taking their time. WAOW GG with a 3K gold lead. Willing to dance, right? They don't want to push the envelope. Both teams know what's on the line. This is a death match, a best of 3 where somebody's going to go home. And this is the type of Mobile Legends we like to see. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to jump in exactly. And even though WAOW GG has his 3K gold lead, there's still a lot of play potential on the side of Twisted Minds to turn a fight around.
Lyrics will take a lot of damage, but Foss, risky play, but big risk, big reward as Foss gets out of the way. Deja Vu taking a lot of damage, Vengeance already popped up. Hide doesn't have the Praise's Wrath, goes down by the hands of Foss, gets in for that re-engage as Lyrics falls as well. 2 down for Twisted Minds. Does look like WAOW GG making a beeline towards that Lord. They might be able to blitz this down.
WAOW GG layered that attack so well. Foss starts it off, and you think that Foss is like exactly going in to get kills? No. I'm going in to shred you down
Just
a bit.
bait out every
then the
single
AOG
thing.
comes in, and then Rika comes in with the heavy crossbow to clean things up. Very well done by the side of WAOW GG.
Now, WAOW GG needs to play it safe. Yame is half health. Lord will spawn up in the next second. Marching down that bottom side. What's the play for Twisted Minds? Will they be able to overturn this? They don't really have necessary good high ground.
I mean, they do have the ability to play passive here. Like it or not, Granger can do some decent damage to the Lord. They do have, when it comes down to that bottleneck of trying to get into the base, it will still be tough. The big problem, once again, is Mike Wazowski is going to be able to kind of just siege down here and push them away from these base towers and not give them the opportunity to defend.
Lord already pushing down on that bottom side, T3. Mike Wazowski taking a huge brunt of the damage from the Fred Airstrike AOG to stop the approach and try to take down that T3. But Deja Vu's down low. They try to go in deep. Boss down in deep with defensive execution. Thorn Rose to seal the deal. That's 3 members down. WAOW GG focusing on the throne and finally able to take down Mena.
Not yet. The base finally does, Charles. I thought maybe we'd have the big turnaround there for a second.
Maybe.
Possibly. But WAOW GG. I think a lot of us came into this match thinking that it was definitely in the favor of the opposing team, but WAOW GG took a little time. Foss finally comes online. Rika finally comes online, and they played some amazing MLBB there.
Look, Foss is in her element. She looks so comfortable with the assassin. She looks so comfortable with the Lancelot. The way she baits everyone out, the way that she dives in, it was all calculated. It was so clinical that the way she played it. Honestly, though, I was a little bit surprised because if she played this well with the Lancelot, why not yesterday just go out ham with the Lancelot and play it like she is doing today? Maybe the adjustments are coming in through. They have the assassins to maybe alleviate some of the pressure on the side lanes, especially.
I think yesterday there just wasn't the opportunity for it. I think they went for something a little different, and they got shot down because of that Estus, right? And this time they were a bit more prepared. They just banned it, even though there was no guarantee that it was going to get picked up. They had a feeling, and they didn't want to risk it at all. Leo, back with us. How are we feeling about that match?
Since yesterday, I was looking for Foss's Assassins, man. Game 1, went there. Game 2, I can't believe they didn't pull it out. But here, finally, with a Lancelot in her hands, I told y'all she was a killing machine. She told us she was a killing machine. And now we see it. It wasn't all just talk. And now at the cusp of elimination, Twisted Minds, isn't this more painful that they were in control of the first half and then suddenly let go?
I mean, yeah, it was. I think there was always the opportunity there. They were in control for a bit there, but once, I mean, look at Foss even here. This is only 3 minutes in, and we could see what Foss could do on this hero. And as you said, I mean, what was going on yesterday for them not to put this into her hands?
It wasn't, honestly, it wasn't a really, really clean game for either side. In the early game, definitely WAOW GG getting into their groove, getting into their drive, and when they hit that power spike, they know where their heroes thrive, and I think they really played it to the T. Foss was really controlling the momentum and the tempo of the game, and even though they made some mistakes, they were able to adapt to that situation. So I eat my words, they are a very adaptable team.
And more than just being adaptable, I think they were just comfortable. This draft that they came in with, especially the first pick CC, we were questioning what it was. And even halfway through the match, even towards the late game, you were like, huh, you know, we're not really seeing the value of a Deja Vu just yet. But I think the true value of Deja Vu is not in the kills nor the assists. It's the fact that there's backup. There's a reason why Twisted Minds have to heed Foss's attacks, forward attacks. There is a secondary peel to Ayame's Gatot Kacha. It's not just because there's no real payoff, but the possibility of payoff alone makes the CC in the hands of Deja Vu such a great pick. 7 to 15. You'll see here, she got quite a handful of assists, like 7 assists on Deja Vu.
I mean, she picks up the Hunter Strike as well to make sure that she's able to move around in these team fights a bit. You have the defense there, and with the CC, you know, it does well against the, it does well against Hide here. It does well against the Fredrin. It does well against some of these bulky frontliners that Twisted Minds want to be. And it was that body that could buy a bit more time as well, so that when Rika came in, somebody was there to reap the benefits.
Okay, let's talk about these gold laners now. A lot of bank on Rika here, about a full 1,000 between her and Lunar. She had more kills, had more assists, and here's the main difference. When it came to the major objectives, Rika made it count. While Lunar was, I guess, just waiting more for kills.
Rika was cashing in on the turtles, cashing in the Lord's turrets, pushing in lanes, minions. I think overall on the map, just kind of present there.
To be honest, though, I think Lunar played a good game in the early part, but WAOW GG was able to identify where her positioning always is. I remember in the middle of the cast, I was saying, like, man, the Skypiercer stacks are going to grow. They're going to skyrocket out of control.
They didn't.
And they didn't. It didn't. Because WAOW GG adapted to the situation. Foss knew the main target was getting that Granger and taking her out before things really go south.
Yeah, she had solid damage per minute. She was dealing the damage, it's just it wasn't resulting to much. Like, they couldn't finish the job. Lyrics took a lot of damage to be able to make that happen, but at the end of the day, 764 gold per minute on Foss. She was straight up farming heroes. And then Ayame with a lot of assists there. So I like the Gatot Kacha, CC, Lancelot interaction of will we or won't we? And that makes it weird for Miss Meow to say, wait, who do I slam anymore? Because she couldn't get anyone underneath the Crimson Beacon in the post, 10, 11 minute mark. Like, nobody was having any of it.
Yeah, once they got to that point, there wasn't a whole lot Miss Meow could do at all. I mean, overall, it seemed like once it got to a point that was out of control, there wasn't much that Twisted Minds really had to answer. I think their composition looked good on paper, but maybe the Lancelot, I don't know, man. I think Foss really just caused mayhem in that back line.
She is she. Coach Bebex, Coach Non-Axon. If Foss says, I want this hero, most likely just give it to her.
Yeah. I do want to talk about the jungle picks, though. Fredrin versus Lancelot. And we all know, okay, assassins are much faster in the jungle. But the Fredrin, though, what is the value that you see, or what do you want when you're drafting around that Fredrin? Because now the jungle clear speed is very important. That's why people are bringing out the Bakshias. That's why people are bringing out the Hayabusas and the Suyos. You want that early fast rotation so you gain that momentum right from the get-go. But why the Fredrin?
I'm glad you asked, Ryan. Let me tell you now. The reason why Fredrin, and well, mostly Fredrin, he's very unique in this case. The reason why he's picked is because of his CC. The fact that you can fight in the paint, dig yourself deep in the trenches, and act as a secondary or tertiary tank / roamer, in addition to your Gatot Kachas, in addition to your Chos, in addition to your, I'll dare even say, like your Matildas, like when you jump in with a Circling Eagle. What the Fredrin does is, all right, look at me. I'm gonna taunt you, poof. And then I'm gonna hit you with the Appraiser's Wrath, poof. I'm gonna hit you with my passive. After every skill, his next attack is a big knock-up. So that's what the Fredrin brings to the table. But given the combo, especially when they got full control, WAOW GG, they denied the Fredrin that because of all the CC and the peeling from Ayame, from Deja Vu, and then the damage from Mike Wazowski, from Rika, not to mention Foss wreaking havoc in the backline. They couldn't do anything.
I think the Fredrin is still a very solid pick, but the problem with this composition that we have is not. I think it's more to lean towards the Badang and the Hilda, two heroes that want to dive as well, and that leaves Miss Meow and Lunar in the back as free pickings for Foss. We saw it early on in that first fight highlight. We see Livin go for the big dive onto the tower, and nobody's there to protect Meow and Lunar. Yes, I don't think that Fredrin's gonna always lose against the Lancelot. I think both picks are very viable in today's meta, but you have to build the comp around them. And this is what we saw some of yesterday's games. We see the Fredrin get picked up, but we see this dive comp happen. And yeah, the Assassins are going to thrive against those more physical, fightery, tanky dive comps because they're just going to pick off your back lane.
Yeah, it's a matter of space. It's a matter of what this Fredrin is doing to answer to the Lancelot's movements. And more often than not, you're seeing it's too late. Once Foss has gone in and out of the fight, Hide is just standing there with like this much HP. It's like, all right, what am I going to do? Like, I've been chasing y'all and I've been taking a lot of damage for free with nothing to clap back with. So that's what the Fredrin costs. You know, if you're talking about what the Fredrin brings, there's also an innate cost to it, a liability.
Yeah, I have something to throw over to you guys as well.
Okay.
Because 10 junglers, we've seen the resurgence of all of that. We have the Bakshias, the Barats came out yesterday, the Fredrins. but they are primarily frontliners.
Sure.
You want to throw their bodies in, and within big objective takes, you typically sacrifice the tanks. And the tanks go down, you don't really have the retribution. What's the play there? And that is always in my mind, like when teams like to use a really passive draft, and that's what I like to call it when you have a tank jungler. Like, it doesn't really work out, especially in that late game. The ideal situation was like what Trek said, you have Lyrics just pushing everyone back, especially with the Hilda, and just denying their opponents, assassin junglers, from getting even too remotely close to the main objective takes.
It's possible that maybe they got the wrong gold laner. Looking at
maybe
the
not
way,
Granger.
Yeah. Looking at the way Twisted Minds played, maybe they wanted the Irithel. I'm looking at the way that they're playing, right? When they're split up like that, again, you're talking about the lack of protection for the back line. They're just split up. Like, there's no real rhyme or reason to it. But if you split up an Irithel and she runs away, she's still kiting, she's still firing at you, even as she retreats, that works out. So I understand how heavy it is for Lunar now to just go, I can't fight this, I'm out of here. Pop, pop, pop.
I think one more big point to bring out is in those types of compositions, the veteran, where he really thrives is going to be those objectives, right?
Yes.
It's where in those turtle pits and those lord pits, you don't always want to try to force fights. Back in that sustained meta where those tank junglers were a thing, you weren't forcing fights around the map. You were waiting for turtle, you were waiting for second turtle, you were waiting for third turtle, you were waiting for first lord.
Which they got.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Foss did steal a few turtles there, actually.
No, but
Yeah,
the
the first
Lord.
two.
But the Lord, yes.
Yeah.
But even then, even when Foss was stealing those turtles, they were still winning out in those pits because that's at the point where you are all together. We're not diving under any towers. We're not risking our back line.
Yep.
It is a 5v5 at that point.
She is the line.
She is the line.
Exactly. So I think if you're going to come into that composition, that's what you need to do. You need to know your times on when you're going to have the advantages in these fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 is upon us. The draft is ready. Let's see if WAOW GG can put the nail in the coffin and finally eliminate Twisted Minds, or are we going all the way? Will the hometown heroines of Twisted Minds force a game 3? It's time for Churros and Trex to take over.
So WAOW GG has found their footing. They found the money in Foss. Come back into that assassin pick. I think that's definitely the right idea.
It's always not easy to come back from a loss, especially since it's an elimination game. You lose this one, you're out. The pressure is on, especially for Twisted Minds. Now, the question is, do you play what you're super comfortable in? I think for Twisted Minds, the tank jungler, the Fredrin, wasn't working. 0, 4, and 5. Yes, Hide was able to soak up a lot of damage. Hide was able to get those objective takes in crucial moments, but at the end of the day, with a super highly burst composition coming out from WAOW GG, Fredrin just wasn't tanky enough. It was just a stickman that WAOW GG was fighting against. So going into the draft, taking out the Kalea, the Kimi, taking out the Uranus, and the Matilda.
Yeah, I mean, overall bans, I think it's going to be more about what happens after this. WAOW GG, do they go for something similar to last game? I don't think they have to switch anything up. And again, I don't think Twisted Minds, I don't think the Fredrin was a bad idea. I will hold and stand tall on that. It's about what they put around it. And if they're going to go up against that assassin pick, everyone needs to be a bit more on the same page, not have too much distance between each other. Like Falcons Vega Mena, they did it correctly yesterday. When they picked those tank picks, they had the Estus with them. They had something to kind of hold everything together. Maybe they planned, maybe Twisted Minds planned to lock that in the second phase. It got banned out. But either way, even with it getting banned out, they could have still picked something a little bit closer to home, something that's not too front to back. Because if you're going to go for the dives, you need everyone else to dive in with you.
I think for Twisted Minds, there are some adaptations that need to be made, especially in that draft. It was the first pick of the Badang going to the hands of Twisted Minds. Now, WAOW GG, they have quite a bit of options. I think the hero of the most value was the Farsa, but you want to highly prior the Farsa. It will be the Baxia, though.
Okay, so they ban out the Fredrin, though, and that's what I was expecting is you ban out the Fredrin.
You pick up the
So now,
Baxia
do you
for
pick
yourself.
up the Basha? It's a little questionable, though, because Foss, we just liked her so much on this assassin pick. I feel like they could have maybe left the Fredrin open, but they are on first pick side, blue side this time, so they got to change something out. Twisted Minds, though, taking a page out of their book. We're going to take the Guitar in the CC this time.
I like the interaction coming out from these two heroes, especially like what Leo says. the CC's value is really getting onto the late game and just zoning everyone out, and you can get out of sticky situations just with the jump. The AOG just works very well when Ayame actually played it in the previous game, getting out of a lot of sticky situations as well. Now, the question is, what will WAOW GG actually pick up right now, knowing that you have someone to disrupt a potential feather airstrike? So you can't really pick up the Farsa for yourself, but they will pick up the Farsa for yourself.
I think the Farsa is still good, even against the Kata. We've seen so
though.
many. Yeah, but we've seen so many counters. Like, so many counter heroes get played against the Farsa, and any good Farsa player can still position. Whoa!
Boss again with the Lancelot.
Still going to be the Lancelot. We're going to slot this Basha into a roam, and I think that was either a big brain, genius draft move right there. Listen, we know we just beat you with the tank jungle, but we're going to still not let you have any good tank jungles. We're going to ban your Fredrin, pick up the Baja, and then slot in the Lancelot just as a little jab to the liver there.
Very smart move. This is a very highly mobile draft. You got a Wings by Wings, you got a rolling turtle, and you've got Lancelot with almost infinite dashes as long as you hit the minions. I think Twisted Minds need to really adjust and try to overcome the momentum that WAOW GG will bring, especially in the late game. The answer to that is the Tien. What I do like about the Tien is the vision control that she gets, but with a long cooldown and with sort of like a answer to the Baxia with the passive that Tien has, it kind of baits out that Baxia rolling into the midst of the battle. And you typically play Tien in a utility role, so you want to slow your enemies down, try to get as much crowd control as possible, try to push them back out of the way so that the rest of your team is able to gun everyone down. And Twisted Minds, their composition looks like they want to draft an Irithel. Will WAOW GG pick that up as well?
Irithel's definitely, I mean, I think at this point, it could go the same way it went previously to where I mean, WAOW GG got the Irithel, but since Twisted Minds now is on this side of the map, if Irithel, well, they banned it out, so no. I'm surprised they actually banned it out. I thought they might just leave it open for themselves since they do get first pick after the second phase. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it could go anything. Irithel gone, that means Granger's one of the best next things on the field. Wan not available. Yishun Sin going to get banned out as well.
It was the Moskov slot right here as well. And I think in order for Twisted Minds to match up against the cross-map plays that WAOW GG is going to bring to this game, Moskov would be the next best option right here as well. But do they want to risk it with banning 3 different marksmen over here and just resort back to the Granger again?
I mean, it's definitely, I think the Granger is solid either way. With this composition, maybe a little bit better. I mean, it just depends on what they... The problem is last time, they had the Badong, they have this high dive comp, and when you have something like a Granger that wants to sit on the backside, you need to keep someone there who can peel for him, someone there who can defend him, any kind of long-range marksman, any kind of long-range whatever, you need to have someone there that can protect them, and that's where Twisted Minds kind of messed up. We saw the same thing from GG in day one, man. We saw they have these big divers that leave their back line to open, and that's what we're seeing a major mistake come from a lot of teams right now in the current meta.
Yeah. So if we theorycraft a little bit, so the Barats would be banned out, solidifying the second phase ban from WAOW GG. Twisted Minds, how they like to play this is the AOG as well as the curtain call goes into the back line, leaving Tien wide open from that back. I think the issue is right now with a lot of clash-heavy compositions is that, yeah, I agree with you. You leave the marksman all the way at the back. Irithel would be one of the only few marksmen who could match up to that speed that the battle setters want to bring to the table. So the Moskov will be here as an answer to the cross-map plays to maintain that wave priority, which I like. Now they're left open with a jungle. WAOW GG, the response with a marksman as well as the EXP though.
Now Moskov's a solid pick here because it's not your super long-range marksman, except for the SOD of course, but it's someone that wants to dive in with you, dive in with that Katat, dive in with that CC. Badang does get picked up for the side of WAOW GG. They also need a marksman here. I think they could honestly take the Granger with their composition here, as Twisted Minds does not have an assassin on the field. Now Twisted Minds, do they keep it simple, go for something bulky again? There's already very limited options for that. I guess they could pick up the Ling here.
Suyo.
Hayabusa maybe, Suyo. Still a lot of options for them in terms of damage junglers.
I think they solidified their draft with the Droy. So it won't be too, you know, overly sprinkled with confetti kind of jungle. We're going back to basics right here. Twisted Minds with a easy to execute draft. You know how to play this. You have answers to the cross-map plays that WAOW GG has to bring. But again, one-dimensional play from WAOW GG, easy to execute, and you have layer in with your tank setters.
I think one of the players I'm worried here for is going to be Miss Meow on the Zishian. It's just she has no dash. She's going to be a sitting duck, and if the rest of the team dives forward, top pops the AOG, and Joy's nowhere to be found, and CC's also doing her thing, there is literally zero escape for her on that hero. So positioning is going to be key for Miss Meow and how she survives in this match.
Well, very risky situation that both teams are going to bring in. We're jumping straight into the land of Dawn. This is the second game. The do all die for all for Twisted Minds. If they lose this one, it's all over for them. But on the other hand, though, WAOW GG making their mark. They want their revenge on Mina.
I think WAOW GG just needs to play this game the same exact way they played last time.
Yep.
Let Foss do her thing, be the killing machine that she told us she was, get into that back line, target down on a Miss Meow, target down on a Lunar. Now, Lunar is going to be a slightly different topic this time because last game, it was not a Moskov you were chasing after. And if Lunar has the micro mechanics to do it, you can try to find that outplay on Foss if Foss goes too deep. Another person we have to look at here is going to be Ayame. We are seeing this Basha in the roam position, something that's been favored very much so into the jungle, but still it's fast moving. You pair that up with the wings by wings of a Farza, we're talking about quick rotations for WAOW GG.
Not only quick rotations, now first minute of the map, Ayame already leashed down the orange buff, and Foss already in deep into enemy territory. On the top side, it's a 2v1. Deja Vu will be getting out safe, but then again, WAOW GG had made some mistakes in the previous game. They were a little bit too aggressive, especially how Ayame likes to open up that brush. But now, in this game, there needs to be some adjustments, especially prior to that first turtle take that Twisted Minds needs to make. They can win out in team fights, but Miss Meow doesn't really have, like you said, a lot of mobility or a lot of damage in the early game. And how they want to play around that objective really sets the tone of the pace of this game.
Yeah, WAOW GG. I mean, we didn't see them pop off until about the third, fourth or so minute. That was, yeah, fifth minute. That was when they really came online. Twisted Minds, though, with a similar comp, kind of waiting for that time to shine, but up in the top side.
Top side, Livin, down by 3, no AOG to keep her out alive. Will delay her inevitable doom. First blood goes to Deja Vu. Hidei there for backup though, with the Rhythm of Joy dealing tons of damage for their airstrike from that back. Nice positioning, but Ayame still falls. This is a double kill for Lyrics as Foss gets out of the way. The turtle will be favored by Twisted Minds.
And Mike Wazowski unable to really connect onto too many with that feathered airstrike. I mean, it was a well-fought. I thought it was going to be the big game changer.
Yeah.
But in the end, Twisted Minds are able to outstep it, come back in, and still secure 2. So well done by WAOW GG, but very much better well done by Twisted Minds.
I was honestly doubting the power that Twisted Minds has in the early game because they don't really have a lot of depth damage, especially from Miss Meow. But landing that Fury off that Phoenix onto 3 on the top side though, hold on a second. They're trying to put Lyrics out of position so that they can contest for this objective. WAOW GG putting a lot of value into this first turtle.
All right, Foss has a great count in terms of neutral objectives right now, does wonderful at securing them.
Hidei, Foss still steals the turtle from underneath Hidei's noses, and Hidei just got a little bit too close to the dragon's teeth as WAOW GG will take her down and secure the turtle for themselves.
Yeah, very cleanly done. Foss able to secure another objective for the side of WAOW GG. Not only that, but they secure Hidei as well. And that's the thing, it's gonna be very hard to run away from a comp that WAOW GG has. You have all the punctures, you have this Basha who can roll you down, you have the wings by wings, you have so many different tools that are just gonna help you reposition in these team fights.
Yeah, look at the economy, just even Stevens at this point, kill score just exactly the same. They're matching each other's tempo, and this is exactly what Twisted Mind needs. In order for them to, hold on a second right here, AOG directly onto the bottom side. Livin just taking a lot of damage as Oyame secures that kill, Revitalize, keeps them all alive, and they're grouped up like a death ball. Here comes Hidei from the flank, trying to take everyone out with the Rhythm of Joy. Rika next to fall, but hands on Hidei. Foss dashes out safe, 3-0.
Once again, Twisted Minds turn the fight around. WAOW GG continues to look for these pickoffs, but Twisted Minds comes out on top in them. Taking a look at some of the items, Joy still waiting on that first. Same thing with Foss. Hunter Strike has been locked in for Rika. And on the other side, Corrosion Scythe locked in for Lunar. Things still pretty even on the board. It's a standstill game.
It's a 2-0-1 for Lunar. That kills down the bottom side really push her up into priority, especially in the lane. So Rika has to claw her way back up. As WAOW GG, they thrive in the late game when Foss really comes online. But now the changes that they made with the Moskov will be much harder in the late game. When you come even remotely close to this Moskov, you get shredded down to smithereens. So now Turtle spawns up in 7 seconds. They're zoning everyone out of the way. AOG to try to reach all of them, taunting up. The fair airstrike will do not a lot of damage as Livin just walks out safe. A lot of key resources already used up by WAOW GG as Twisted Minds tries to secure this turtle.
And Deja Vu still doesn't have retribution. It's 6 seconds. They need to try to buy a little bit of time. I mean, Foss still doesn't have that retribution. Now it's finally up. They have claimed position over this turtle. Twisted Minds decides to back off.
Smart move. Twisted Minds want to reset that turtle, but WAOW GG just take into position. Speaking of position, though, Wahide diving in from the backline once again. This Meow playing with death. Foss doesn't get the kill and goes down to Graveyard herself.
This time, Twisted Minds is doing a much better job at keeping things tight and not letting Foss just have her way with their team. Every time she comes in, she's unable to secure the final blow, and then she gets chased down and taken out. Twisted Minds have turned that standstill game into a 1K gold lead. They haven't secured any turtles on top of that, but they are securing map space and kills.
What I like about both these two teams is that they are very methodical in getting these turrets taken down. Now Twisted Minds up in terms of kills, but it's still pretty much into the mid-game. At any one point of time, like we see in the first game, WAOW GG can overturn the situation. They just need to buy some time for Foss to really come online, for Rika to have that damage burst. But the longer they wait, Lunar is slowly pushing down all that side waves and maintaining that lane priority. So the major objectives coming in, especially that Lord, will be so much harder for WAOW to take down.
All right, Foss in a bad spot. Twisted Minds, how much are they going to commit to trying to get this kill? Take a look at the top side, though. WAOW GG should be able to close in on this turret as so many resources of Twisted Minds are down on the bot, all 5 members. And Foss should actually be able to clear this wave and maybe even save this tower from being taken.
It's a 2v1. Born Rose Keeper is safe, able to dash out. Hide tries to dive in underneath the turret. Foss trying to outplay. She might be able to buy some time before she eventually falls, but their team is actually pushing through on that top.
I mean, Foss does all of that and still, I mean, I think that was totally worth it. You save the tier 3 on the bottom and your team is able to secure 2 objectives up top. Twisted Minds at least find something in all of that, most likely taking this tower? No, still unable to take it. We're coming down to 3rd turtle. That was a huge play for WAOW GG.
Huge play from WAOW GG. Able to save that T1. Will do a lot. Hide secures that turtle, living trapped in between the walk and the hard place. AOG lands, both popping a flicker. Mike Wazowski goes down, but hands of lyrics make it 2 as Lunar will take Deja Vu out. The rolling Boxia won't be able to get out of the way, so Yami takes too much damage. Miss Meow will secure that kill as Twisted Minds takes one after another, and they're having such a huge game this time around.
I gotta say, Twisted Minds continues to win out in all of these team fights. It's a statement that WAOW GG is still handling themselves so well on the map, and it's the only thing really keeping them alive in this game currently. They're hanging on by a thread right now, looking for time, looking for that moment to turn things around, and Twisted Minds also knows the objective. I think Twisted Minds can maybe even push the envelope a little bit more because of just how well they're taking these big 5v5s. I think at this point, they could really just kind of look for some all-in moments at 66 seconds to the Lord. Twisted Minds has no reason to fear right now in terms of team fight capabilities.
I have to agree with you. Twisted Minds has a lot of options. They could put Hide on the long lanes, Lunar on the other side of the map, and whenever there's a team fight onto Miss Meow, you could SOD in, join in the team fights, and get into position. You also have the vision play coming in from Miss Meow. That's the Fury of the Phoenix that will draw a little bit of intelligence onto the rest of where WAOW GG is. 30 seconds until Lord spawns up. What's the play here for WAOW GG to come back into this game?
I think they're handling this the right way currently. There is a big deficit. They need some more time, but they are at least having some map control. They're letting Foss do her thing, either whether that's in the off lane somewhere and the rest of the team takes the tower, or whether she's the one who takes the tower. But they are approaching this the way they need to. They're not too far behind. 3.5k gold lead sounds like a lot, but I've seen teams come back from worse. Twisted Minds, on the other hand, yeah, just keep on playing the way you're playing. Keep on looking for these fights. Keep on, you know that you can win out in them. You have all the tools to do that. They don't need, you know, maybe don't be too patient for Twisted Minds, because if they let this go too long, you're giving WAOW GG the opportunity to find that comeback.
It's like a seesaw. You see Moskov on one side of the map, and then you see Hide on one side of the map, and WAOW GG is just reacting to all of this pushes from the lanes. Check it now, Lunar's on the bottom side already, 3-0-3, and this Moskov just farming the entire game. We're starting things off with that Lord, as WAOW GG, 5 members are already in position. Twisted Minds, you want to try to find an angle to target onto the main damage dealers of the team, waiting for the Fred airstrike to fall. SOD already lands, AOG calls it down. It's Hide, tries to find Ayami, will be the next to fall. 2 members down for the side of WAOW GG. It's Twisted Minds, they find angles after angles. The SOD was just bait. Look at the bottom side. Moskov already taken down the T2.
Yeah, I mean,
the flicker in and the kill secured onto Foss. Lunar is just not having it today.
4-0-3. Lunar just a monster currently. And I liked it, yeah, the SOD, it was a possibility. We even saw the AOG land right where that shadow was, so giving Lunar the opportunity to make a choice there. Didn't need to, though. Took tower, so not only do they get the Lord, but they get some huge objectives on the bot side.
Lord spawning up in the next couple seconds. WAOW GG on the defensive. Lyrics just zoning everyone out of the way. You do have, or Twisted Minds per se has that vision play that WAOW GG doesn't. WAOW GG doesn't know where Twisted Minds is. I think they need to play it in their base. Just wait for the Lord to come in. Just give up that T2 and Twisted Minds. If they see their prey in the jungle, that's then when they'll strike.
Athena's shield comes in for Ayame. I don't know if that's the best choice here. I was thinking maybe more on the side of Radiant Armor. I don't know. Could be a little wrong about that. Feel free, anyone in the world, to connect me if I'm wrong. But Ayame does go for it. It gives you a little bit more survivability, I guess, in terms. You get that shield. On the side of WAOW GG, they need to do something. Rika gets another item locked in as well. Lord connecting.
Lord marching down the bottom side. AOG will start things rolling out. Phantom execution and the Fear of the Phoenix. Miss Meow makes a huge play, starting up all members of WAOW GG. 3 goes down. They're looking for more as they take down that Lord. Mike Wazowski nowhere to be found as Rika falls as well. It's a full wipeout as Twisted Minds responds.
And the score is settled. 1-1 right now. Could go either way. Just when anyone is counting Twisted Minds out, they pull it together, come in game number 2 and tie things up. Yesterday was a day full of sweeps. Today, we got some best of 3s on our plate to eat.
Hey, it's elimination day. No one wants to go out just like that. You want to have really close games. You want to show that you're playing your best. And the adaptations, and we talked about adaptations a lot. For both of these 2 teams, they understand how they want to play around their power spikes. But for the adjustments that Twisted Minds made, especially with the Moskov draft, it was just too much for WAOW GG to handle. Do you go up onto the top side? Moskov is right there, and then Hide comes in from the bottom side and tries to push in that lane as well. So they're splitting their heads into different lanes, and I think that pretty much is the nail in that coffin.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think overall, we saw WAOW GG adapt from yesterday. This time we see Twisted Minds adapt from game number 1, and both teams just evolving as we're watching these series go forward. And this time, when we come into draft 3 later, we can talk about it a bit more later. But I feel like now WAOW GG once again has to kind of, you know, all right, now you need to move the chess piece. It's your turn now to change something up, because Twisted Minds had a beautiful answer to the way they played that game, and they just did it well.
Yeah. And now both these 2 teams has to go back to the drawing board. Man, Both these two teams really locking in. As we go into the replay, we've analyzed this in the game, but man, we need another perspective. Leo, what do you have for us?
I'll tell you now, it seems like whoever has the Granger is
not
on the
doing
back
so
foot.
well.
Yeah, because again, the play style of these two teams, after a larger sample size of 2 games so far, when it comes down to it, when their damage dealers, where their cores are compromised, then all the more they find it difficult. Not to mention the auto counter on the Feathered Airstrike, right? Miss Meow, as soon as she hears or sees that Feathered Airstrike is on, all right, free her the Phoenix, let's go. We're done. No more. No free hits. And not to mention, again, Lunar, who can reposition. Literally, she has the kit. It's in her SOD, and she has a flicker. How many times did she flicker forward to try and get the kill? I at least counted 2.
It's just at least twice. With
At
the shadows, with the dash, and then the flicker.
At least twice. So, amazing work here by Twisted Minds. They are really pushing the boundaries here to show us exactly what Mana is capable of. Because as it is, Team Falcons, the other team representing the region, is facing off against quite the opponent that they're facing Vitality on Stream A. So I don't know what happened over there. We're still locked in here. Let's take a look at the post-game stats. WAOW GG 4-19 on Twisted. Oh my God.
Man.
Wait.
But it wasn't really that dominant until the late game.
I mean, I don't know. No, Twisted Minds just played a good game. I mean, WAOW GG only really had, I think, a few moments of glory in the early on stages of that game. And even some of those moments were overshadowed by Twisted Minds turning things around in a lot of those fights.
At the cost of Hide, Lyrics, and Miss Meow performed out of their minds. Like,
yes.
Hide had to play a hybrid of scrambler / formation breaker type of joy, not just
kamikaze.
Pure, yeah, not just pure assassin. But she was like, all right, I'm gonna put him over here. I'm gonna bother this so you can shoot over here, all right? And then the rest is history, dude.
And honestly, in the draft, we were doubting the Zetian.
Why? Why you guys keep doubting stuff?
Because sometimes it just does. I mean, we
just
haven't
good,
seen a 2-0-15 ZTN yet. Let's just say that.
It's just sus.
It's a little sus. It hasn't really fully come out of its shell just yet. But taking a look at the head-to-head here, Lunar and Rika. Lunar this time just had a really clean game. 0 deaths as well. Lunar, Miss Meow, and Lyrics all completely going untouchable in that series. Taking a look at the gold spread, Lunar left behind those minions a little bit early on, but was willing to, but out of that, gets more turrets, gets more turtles, gets more kills and assists, becomes a member of the team much, much faster.
Yep, she's had it with this small town. She wanted to join these fights.
Big city.
And be a big star in the big city. And she did. What is that? A difference of 900 in just one avenue of gold. And then you still have better gains on turtle. Lord, better gains on turrets, about the same everywhere else except for minions, less jungle creeps, and that's bad. When your gold laner gets a lot on jungle creeps, that means she's cannibalizing
the
from your
Lancelot,
jungle.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, down from the early game, I think Rika was way too aggressive. You know, as a Granger, you kind of win out the lane in theory against the Moskov, so Rika's always far in front. But what she didn't expect was that Twisted Minds were hyper-focusing on, let's get Lunar that kills, let's get Lunar that farms. Early on, in the 3rd minute of the match, already 2-0-0, and that snowball just began to start rolling through.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's clear that both teams want to go only forward. Now out on your most favorite streaming platforms. That is the official theme for MWI and MSC here at Esports World Cup. But if your team is behind, these two teams are very similar to who was that? Wildcard winner Virtus Pro. They are very difficult they find it difficult to play on the back foot. That's what these teams look like. WAOW GG, when they found that best position in game 1, couldn't be taken down. Here, Twisted Minds, it's the same story.
But
why are they teams like that?
They were kind of on the back foot until the mid game. So that's
until
where,
Lunar
like,
said it's go time.
Until Lunar says the go time, yes. Yeah. So I think if it ever seeps into the late game, both these two teams will suffer. The name of game, I guess, for the next game that we're about to watch is probably who can get into the mid-game power spike fast and try to get that adaptations in and just overturn the entire competition.
I mean, I feel like both games were pretty one-sided ultimately. Like, yeah, each team kind of had a moment where the other team, I mean, it's a very small moment.
Yeah, it was 50-50 for a while.
For like 2 minutes, and then one team just went boom. So, I mean, at this point, do we see that again? Or are we finally going to have a real nail-biter down to the line? Because whether we like it or not, this is match point for both teams. This is end of the line for one of the teams, and something's got to shake up.
You know why I think this is possibly the final form of WAOW? Like, this is their best shape that they can be in, is because Foss is finally an assassin. What else can we expect from them? What else can we ask from them to adjust widely to try and shift the tides of battle, the scales of power here?
Yeah. I got a question for both of you guys, and I'm also thinking, you had the Lancelot in the first 2 games. It worked out super well in the first game. What didn't go so well in the second game? It kind of seems like Foss was playing her game. And do you think it was maybe the team was struggling to like come back and try to match her speed and match her tempo into how she wants to play it? Or she thinks that she's way too deep in? Let's take a look at some of the replays for Foss. This is pretty much almost the Great Escape.
I wouldn't say that it was exactly something that went wrong for Foss. I would say it was more what Twisted Minds did correctly. They never left their backline super free. There was plenty of times that Foss tried to dive in and catch somebody and just wasn't able to do it. Twisted Minds just seems like a much more well-oiled unit here.
Tis the Gatot and Zetian difference. Zetian gives you full vision, so you know where threats might be coming from. Gatot can automatically disengage via AOG, and can even charge up backwards. If I'm not, you can aim that. Yeah, so you can charge up backwards and taunt unbreakable whoever is attacking your backline. So, again, Foss was playing off of last game's momentum. It was much easier to attack backlines then. Now, it's a different story. I think Twisted Minds have drafted into a position wherein they could answer Foss's killing machine instincts. Now, what is next? What's next on the docket, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be some sort of change up. I don't know. They slotted in that Basha. I don't know if you saw the first part.
It was a flex. It was a flex.
They picked up the flex Basha. I think that could have worked. I don't think that Foss is completely out of the books for playing a utility jungler. I think yesterday they just didn't get the best options. They were up against Estes.
It was just too much in the face of Anube.
You know, exactly. It was way too much in the face of Anube. So I don't think we completely count Foss out. I don't think. I think they suffered the very similar degree to what happened to Twisted Minds in the first game. This time they had the artillery in the back that got a little bit left open for Hide to capitalize on. You know, this time they were too far deep, while Granger and Farz were sitting in the back with no one around, you know? So
Churos, how do you feel about push-ups? I mean, utility junglers in the hands of Foss, rather.
What's going on with these push-ups between you guys?
No, I mean...
Nah, it's just friendly banter, but hey, I'm still pretty much gonna win.
No. Utility junglers on Foss. What do you think? Game 3, are we gonna see it, or is it Lancelot, Hayabusa?
Okay.
All in.
What I'm thinking is the same thing that I brought up just now. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
No.
And
You got it wrong.
Is he doing it on purpose at this point?
Shame on me. Okay, on the other side.
Fool me once, can't get fooled again.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
No,
Gosh,
stop.
What?
Leo.
Right. You know what? Let's let the game speak for itself while Churos figures out his figures of speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Twisted Minds on the play. WAOW GG answering back. A lot on the back of Coach Bebex. How else can he unlock Foss and the rest of this Mongolian squad to make it through to the next round? Or will Coach Daliot and Twisted Minds call it a day here? Reverse sweep out of this best of 3, game number 3. Gentlemen, take care of business.
Lancelot ban right up front. Forcing some change, forcing some difference. I like it. It's a vibe for sure. Basha ban on the side of WAOW GG. This time we're definitely getting something different. Joy still on the field. Does WAOW GG maybe even ban that out? Like, fine, you want to ban our Lance? We're going to ban your Joy. Let's get down to the utility boys.
Let's get down to business. But there's a lot of assassins that could potentially come back up. We've seen the Hayabusa a couple times today as well. The Suyos, especially by Gaming Gladiators earlier today, this morning. And typically the first pick would definitely be a Badang. We've seen the Gatot and the CC as a response to that. Will that change, though, in the state of the draft? The last ban could potentially be a Kimi. I think that was pretty much that Kimi slot in the first 2 phases, but they will ban out the Fredrin, so open up the Kimi and force Twisted Minds to pick up something that's unfamiliar to them.
I I mean, yeah, with Kimmy being open, do we think that could be a upfront pick here? A lot of teams have slotted that as their blue side first pick. It always hasn't done well, though, especially in the faces of heroes like Jushin, Farza, some of these heroes that can just outrange it a bit, bring down chaos from the back line. But we've also seen the Farza not perform super well in this series especially, so it could be something that Twisted Minds wants to go for. They seem to do better with, like last game, the Moskov, heroes that are a bit shorter range that can stay with their team, but they're going to prowl the CC. Maybe both teams have understand the assignment that this is an important hero, at least in this battle.
Yeah, just zoning the back lane out of the way, and also in the early game, setting that momentum and aggressing into the jungles is what Twisted Mind wants to do with the CC. And I guess both these EXP laners are kind of, they want to win that lane first to try to get that early prio. On the other hand, now these two picks are typically the Gatot and the CC. And the first pick was the Badang. Do you think that would be the Badang and the Gatot in one sitting? Then you can flex it, Badang and EXP, or vice versa. Yeah, the Gatot definitely will come in.
I think Gatot's definitely important. They've played wonderfully on it. Wan. Because that's something that's been getting banned out, and now that with so many target bans on the field, the board is starting to open up a bit, and the Wan, I mean, has been monstrous for a lot of teams. There's a reason it's on the ban list. She's definitely kind of back into the meta. Even without getting the crossbow of Tang off, she can output a lot of damage just with those basic attacks.
Now, while GG's draft is pretty understandable, they pick up that 1-1. They need heavy frontliners. They need strong tanks to be able to soak up that damage so that the weakness points is able to pop easily for the gold laner. The answer from Twisted Minds is typically the Farsas. So they're opening up that mage. They're going for the Irithel and the Hayabusas first. So the Hayabusa's job or its operations, they basically just take that 1-1 down. The answer to that is that Hilda. How are you feeling so far in this draft?
I like the Wan, but right now, WAOW GG's in a bad spot in terms of jungler. Twisted Minds have picked up the Hayabusa, they picked up the damage dealer, they banned out the Lance a lot, and not a lot in terms of that is left for WAOW GG. They're the ones who banned out the Fredrin and the Basha. And what else is really left? Yeah, they could go for something like the Ling, I guess, have the big assassin battle here. Other than that, the Suyo still open as well, I guess. They could fall back into that. Not an amazing choice, but if Twisted Minds really wants to break down, they could ban out the Joy here. Maybe ban out the Suyo.
What about Hanzo?
Hanzo.
This used to be one of Foss's signature picks.
Okay.
Yeah, in the qualifier, she put that out a couple times. But now that the meta has shifted, we seldom see the Hanzo, but I'm inching for it. I think Foss, this might be a good pickup for her because I'm thinking
she might be forced to at this point.
She might be
forced to at this point. There's not a lot of options left over.
I think the Hilda actually enables the Hanzo to do that thing. You don't really have anyone to be as aggressive as a Hilda in the early game, so Hanzo could just farm up, take her time, and get that power spikes, and then it makes it so much easier and non-committal to get into the backline and take Irithel out, because we saw how Lunar played. Once she gets online, she's locked in and ready to go. She pulls the trigger, and the rest is history. So I think that might be a pretty good option. They choose to ban out both, or three mid laners.
That's huge. I mean, at this point, also,
what's left?
What's left? That's how tight the mid lane is.
We still got a Kimmy.
We still got a Kimmy. WAOW GG may just go for that here, honestly. Double marksman, and then they have the freedom to maybe, this is what they got caught in yesterday, double marksman into something tanky on top. I think it was Fredrin carry Kimmy last time. This time they have the Wan, but still with Fredrin gone, do they go for like a Bratz or something? You know, do they get crazy? Maybe we see an Angela here.
Yeah, maybe we see
Angela for
Eastern
the side of
Shin.
WAOW GG. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I was looking at Eastern Shin because I think Foss might find that a little bit easier to manage, and you have a little bit more vision play, especially onto Hide and how she likes to play very sneakily onto the back lines. So now that's out of the option. Maybe Joy?
Yeah, Joy's open now at this point. Instead of banning that out, they go for the YSS ban. That is definitely a possibility for WAOW GG, unless they want to lock down their mid lane first.
I think it might be possible to leave it open. We've seen the Aurora today. Man, what else? I mean, unless you want to secure your Kimmy and make sure that at least you have some form of reliable long-range crowd control in the form of the traction pulse, and then your 1-1 could be enabled to break down all that weakness points and just do their thing. Yeah, they go for the Kimmy instead.
Yeah, go for the Kimmy, and now you have the option to either put something bulky in front of that and just put all your eggs in the basket of the 1-1 and the Kimmy. Or yeah, just go for something damaging for Foss. Like I said, the Joy is still open. It's a possibility. You have the Gatot who can kind of consistently run back. And the thing about the 1-1 is you don't have to worry as much about protecting her. She has a lot of good escapability. She's a lot harder to target down compared to other marksmen. So you still have the advantage of Hilda and Gatot as being these dive-centric heroes. And the side of Twisted Minds, though, still looking for a roamer and a mid laner as well.
I think name of the game for WAOW GG is repositioning. I think 1-1. I mean, oh ho ho! We're seeing something new here. Lolita Faramis.
They are essentially predicting the possibility of a utility jungler coming out from the side of WAOW GG, knowing that they're going to be grouped up on the side of WAOW GG. We did see the Faramis from them yesterday. First game, that was one that they lost in 9.5 minutes, though.
But it's kind of anti-synergy, don't you think? Like, Hayabusa just wants to do his own thing.
It does work, though,
CC
with everyone else. I mean, though, yeah, but CC kind of wants to stick around a little bit. You have the Aerithel there that's going to dive as well. So, yeah, CC wants to dive, but Aerithel also wants to dive, and Faramis can be right there with them. But hold up. You called it, my guy.
I called it.
You called it.
The Hanzo from Foss. To do all, die all game. The last game. If you ever go out, I mean, just play something that you're super comfortable with.
High fives around the board as well for WAOW GG. The coach picked it up. The team agreed on it. It's all in now for both teams.
Match point for both of these two teams. Twisted Minds and WAOW GG. Loser goes home. And for Twisted Minds, though, this is their home ground advantage. You don't want to be the first MENA team to go all. We're jumping straight into Atlanta Dawn. The last match of the day, or not the day, the last match of the series. Twisted Minds on the blue and WAOW GG on the red. We're starting things off. Ladies and gentlemen, match point.
It's mano y mano. 1-to-1. Everything on the line between these two teams. Let's take a look at the composition now. With this Hanzo on the field, it changes a lot. So it makes things very, very interesting. Because here's the thing. Twisted Minds was ready for something very different, I feel like. And now it's going to be a much different battle of the mind for Twisted Minds. Because this Lolita pick, I mean, it's going to do great against the Kimmy. But the Numenon Blast isn't going to be that big of a deal, I feel like. It's not like that ultimate isn't going to be able to get a whole lot of purchase against WAOW GG's composition. The shield, yes. The bulwark, yes, it's going to be huge against the Kimmy, but other than that, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's also easy to disrupt, especially from the AOG, from a Yame. Now, both teams are ramping up the aggression. We see how Hide wants to play this Hayabusa. Every time there's a loose member, she wants to go in, try to hit a shadow, and try to get as much damage off. Because now we have Foes Hanzo in the picture as well. And WAOW GG setting up for a nice easy kill down the mid side as it's just a slow push down bottom. Oh, bottom side. With a lot of damage onto Rika. Down deep. Shadow kill won't finish that job. Hide taking a lot of damage as well. Lunar won't be able to take Rika out, but on top side though, Yami taking a lot of damage, able to walk out safe. And in that tri-bush, Deja Vu pushing the lyrics back is Livin, finding a little bit of vision play onto where Foss is.
Both teams look for the gank. Rika still in a bad spot. Still able to get away.
That is a pixel if I've ever seen one. WAOW GG focuses on that turtle. Hayabusa is nowhere to be found. That's a quick and easy objective take for WAOW.
Both teams look for ganks on the off lanes. Neither team able to find it. But Rika does at least give Hide enough of a hard time that he has to go back to base, and that's going to give an orange buff over to the side of Foss, which is huge. Taking a look at the items here, still nobody too far ahead. Nothing crazy out of the books here.
This is how you want to play. If you have a Hilda, just be a bodyguard, protect Foss, and try to get into the jungle, steal all the main objectives, and get out. Try to get a level lead before you get those kills. And I think Twisted Minds, they're a little bit too panicky down on the bottom side. Rico was down low. Luna was taking the brunt of the turret damage. It didn't pan out well. But look at the top side, though. Lyrics proxying that wave, able to get out safe, but Foss already win that shadow. Snap and first blood goes to Foss. Signature hero, signature pick and round on mid side. Numenon Blast will not land as AOG will bring Yami out to safety.
Yeah, WAOW GG feeling comfortable with this pick, honestly. Foss doing a great job. They're finding pickoffs, they're stealing buffs, they're doing exactly what you're supposed to do on the Hanzo, and Rika has just been getting bullied non-stop, but still yet to die, dancing around under that tower very well, and that's going to be the thing that keeps WAOW GG in the lead here. And as long as Twisted Minds can't succeed on these plays they're trying to make, it's going to be tough for them.
We're seeing a heavy lane down the bottom side. WAOW GG, at least Rika is playing very passively. Mike Wazowski again pulled back. She will get fouled by Hide. Now Deja Vu tries to go in for a consolation prize as Foss goes in with a shadow, tries to find her target down on that mid side. There's a two-man stun up. Foss takes out Lunar. The Numenon Blast won't do nothing, but the nether round will keep all of them up safe. Deja Vu falls as Rika will be the next to fall. Lyrics will set her sights up. It's on the mid side. Yame.
Rika wanted that last stack so bad, that last weakness point so bad, was unable to get it. And Lyrics ends up getting the kill, locks in the War Axe directly after 4.5 minutes in, and it is a slugfest. The gold still at about a standstill. We are going to see Lyrics get some nice gold plating off this top side, possibly, unless WAOW GG gets there to help out.
Starting off with this turtle, yet again, Deja Vu doing the Lord's work and pushing everyone out of the way. They're targeting onto Livin though. It's a lot of damage. Foss already with the killing spree with the signature Hanzo pick. AOG lands on top of Lyrics, pulling her back into the graveyard. She goes. But here comes Hide trying to find some form of prize down the backside. Takes down Mike Wazowski, but it's a trade. 1-for-1, tit for tat. Lyrics falls as well. As WAOW GG. That's a free turtle. Not a lot of defense, not a lot of value put by Twisted Minds.
I gotta say, almost every time that Foss has popped that Pinnacle Ninja, it has been it's been almost a guaranteed kill. She's 3-0 and 0 right now. This is the third kill that she locks in onto Livin there, and it's been pretty huge. WAOW GG has been, I think, in terms of just some of these fights, has been getting some of the outplays, but Hide has been keeping Twisted Minds alive in all of this, consistently targeting down on Mike Wazowski, consistently getting kills for herself as well.
But Mike Wazowski is basically an easy target, especially for that Hanzo. The only issue is right now, both these two ninjas, speaking of ninjas, Hide finally gets a shutdown on the Foss on the top side. He's going to be left all alone on the bottom side though. A trade yet again, Miss Meow falls, but hands of WAOW GG.
Yeah, this is lore worthy right here, right?
Yeah.
Hanzo versus Hayabusa, Ninja
That's
versus
right.
Ninja. This goes down to the roots, I feel like, for MLBB.
You're getting on the trades. Deja Vu, they're all just coagulating together. I think WAOW GG wants to play together as 4, but now you're leaving Foss wide open. Numenon Blast and Traction Pulse will be ramped up. That's a disruption. Livin popping the Revitalize will keep Lunar up safe for now. Trying to find a flank and angle before the nether realm pause. Deja Vu taking a lot of damage. Lyrics will walk away, press away, say Pinnacle Ninja comes onto the back line. There's a hit, not enough damage. Lyrics will not be taken down as Hide from the backside. Just taking one after another. Foss almost falls. As Twisted Minds, they take what they can, and it's an even scoreline now.
Now that's a perfect point to say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't think Hide is gonna let Foss keep getting away with that ultimate, because now it's hunting season, and we saw what Hide had to do. Here comes a possible conceal play though.
Oh, I don't think they will want to commit as of now. The turtle's already spawned up. Foss not in position right as of now. Twisted Minds just need a little bit more vision. It will be a free turtle over the side of WAOW, over the side of Twisted Minds. WAOW GG tries to go for a re-engage. Here comes Foss, tries to get into the back line, but not enough damage. Will get taken down by Deja Vu. However, as Twisted Minds try to go on the counter re-engage as Luna takes down one. make it 2. And Deja Vu running for the hills. WAOW GG had a great start with Foss just getting kills after kills, but Twisted Minds already coming back. This is the mid-game pivot point that we've been talking about pre-game.
The problem is Hanzo's starting to look less and less as good as we go through this game. The damage isn't what it used to be, and the problem with that is we're only at 8 minutes. This is not the time for the damage to be falling off, to whereas Hide on the Hayabusa, the damage is scaling upwards. It doesn't matter who he gets the shadow kill onto, he is shredding them down right now, and you add that up with the fact that Miss Meow can save Lunar at any point and help this dive push even farther. Yeah, I mean, it's a strong composition.
Good stun up, another round just in the nick of time. AOG just to disrupt everyone else. Numelon Blast will not land, but WAOW GG taking lots of damage. They will take down 2 members of Twisted Minds though, but it's a Faramish. She'll be back up on the backside though. Hide almost finds her mark onto Foss with Retribution, slows her down before the shadow kill pops.
Yeah, no shadow kill committed, and that could have been dangerous for the side of WAOW GG. And this is the thing, Hide's continuously looking for these flanks, continuously looking for these angles, and most
she's
of the
so
time,
comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable. And this is where we want to see. I mean, both junglers now have slipped into this damage meta, and they are thriving in it.
Twisted Minds just pulling in with the Faramis, Miss Meow doing her job, and then just layering in all those crowd control ultimates that they have. It's Hide always trying to find flanks and angles. She's not with her team, and that's where the concealed play coming in. Ayame trapped in between, she will be safe. She does also have the AOG, as Attraction Pulse already committed as well. Foss looking for a target, looking for a prey, smelling fear in the eyes of Twisted Minds, but they won't want to commit as of now. Both teams lost their T1s, and the Lord already spawned up. It's Twisted Minds and WAOW GG. It's a balanced play.
All right. Lord on the field, first Lord of the game. Ayame in a bad spot once again, force AOG away. Foss looking for the re-engage.
Foss coming in, trying to find a target onto Lunar, but unable to do so. Pinnacle Ninja not available as of now. Twisted Minds blitzing this Lord down. Deja Vu not in position now as Foss opens out Pinnacle Ninja. Can she do it here? Hide takes that Lord, however, still gets that Retribution play. Deja Vu trying to hunt onto Lyrics as WAOW GG. They play it a little bit more passively and goes back for that defense.
But the fact that nobody falls on either team means it's not a huge loss for WAOW GG, but still a loss is a loss. They lost the Lord. Now, speaking of this Hanzo, once again, Foss is just unable to even stick around. He pops the Pinnacle Ninja, he goes in, and he's instantly bursted and shredded down in the midst of it all. How do they even approach the rest of these fights with pretty much that damage dealer? It just feels like it's just not there anymore.
Yeah, now I'm questioning the priority of that Wanwang first two-phase pick. It's like, right now you do need some form of heavy front line to be able to enable Rika to pop the crossbow of Tang. But right now, at this point, I don't remember seeing Rika actually popping or actually engaging into the fights and making big value, big impact right there. WAOW GG making quick work of that Lord down the bottom side. Ayame desperately trying to keep that T2 mid side up and open. Foss tries to pick up what she can. The Lyrics taking a lot of damage as Foss goes back to the main body. Hide, very close. Shadow kill will keep her up safe underneath that turret. One more hit, she might be falling. Rika actually secures that kill. This might be the window of opportunity for WAOW GG to come back in through that game. Foss coming in with Pinnacle Ninja, finding onto the Lunar. They live in, will do. Rika already popped the Inspire.
Rika's
trying to get
off
the crossbow
right now.
Tang in, but Avengers will keep Lyrics up and save, but buying some time for WAOW GG to come back in. The damage is done. Lunar falls.
Rika.
WAOW GG coming back for this engage yet again. This Lyrics will heal everything back up. They take what they can, and they're in and out burger.
WAOW GG back in the game right here. Foss may have stepped back, but Rika is in the moment. We're seeing the damage finally start to build for this Wanwan. Taking a look at the items. The Claws have locked in, the Corrosion Scythe, the Windtalker, I mean, all around the board. The damage is there, and now even more Wind of Nature in as well. I mean, at this point, Rika's comfortable. Rika's comfy. Actually has a small lead over Lunar. This could be something that turns the tables for the side of WAOW GG.
Just when I say the 1-1 doesn't have a lot of impact, just that one kill onto Hide just snowballs her to infinity and beyond. And now Twisted Minds has to watch Rika and how she actually snowballs through to that late game. 20 seconds till the Lord spawns up. Twisted Minds and WAOW GG. This is still an even Stevens game. 2K gold is not too much. Hide will be able to get out safe with that. Oh! I spoke too soon! The traction pulse lands as Mike Wazowski will be able to take down Hide. 5 seconds until the Lord spawns up. WAOW GG making a beeline for this Lord.
Yeah, with 27s on the clock for today, this should be a guaranteed Lord for the side of WAOW GG. But look at Twisted Minds positioning. Everyone in different bushes,
Lyrics.
looking to try to get the play.
Lyrics trapped on by 4. Rika taking a lot of damage already. It's a very risky play as Rika gets some mega for herself as Mike Wazowski leading the charge. He might be able to take this Lord down before Hide comes back up as all of the side lanes are constantly pushing in. Deja Vu zoning out Lyrics. They won't be able to do it. They won't be able to take it here as WAOW GG secures the second Lord.
WAOW GG found their time spree. They found the clock. And that all had to do with Rika coming online. And now Foss can spend some time doing some damage. Back in the midst of things, tower does drop as well on the bot. The tier 2, Lord's gonna be coming down soon that way. Twisted Minds on the defensive. We wanted a nail biter in game number 3, and I feel like both teams are finally giving it to us. This has not felt one-sided the whole way. It's going back and forth. Can Twisted Minds flip the scales once again?
Well, it's all down to how well they defend against this Lord push. As Twisted Minds, I think the best play here is just turtle up in their base, give up that T2 mid side. As WAOW GG, they have a lot more gold advantage. That's 4,000 gold advantage and a full item and a half as Rika coming online. They need to be able to find a way to break through Rika as Foss. Just busy with the Pinnacle Ninja getting to the back line. AOG disrupting Numenon Blast. No stuns for Twisted Minds as WAOW GG getting that Winter Crown just to keep himself safe and buy himself some time. Revitalize will pop as well. It's from the back side and the flank. Hide finds one more. Luna will take Ayame down as Foss tries to go for a desperate kill once again. 2 members down for WAOW GG. They take the bottom T3 and they get out of the way.
I mean, WAOW GG spent a lot for that one tower. I could argue it was worth it. 2 members do drop, but still, that was a little scary. Don't go too deep. You didn't get any enemies on Twisted Minds. I feel like the tower was already possibly a guarantee, but now they're on the back foot, and Twisted Minds knows this. They're going to try to capitalize and get a tower for themselves as Deja Vu and Ayame are still in the death clock.
Twisted Minds wants to cycle this, though, but it's a lot of damage. It's a 3-man traction pulse just to stop them and slow them down. Look at the bottom and the top side wave pushing through into Twisted Minds' base as WAOW GG still has some time left until Lord spawns up. We'll take the tempo slow down a little bit. Twisted Minds and WAOW GG, it's anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, valiant effort by Twisted Minds to keep themselves in this game. WAOW GG maybe overextending a little bit on the boss side. Now they're forced to reset. They do still have a 3.5K gold lead. And the way that gold is right now is that lead does still matter a little bit. It's going to be another 5 minutes or so till things are at full items for everyone. So this lead does help a lot in terms of this fight.
Good traction pulse, baiting out the Nether Realm, so that's a huge resource not available for Twisted Minds as WAOW GG able to take control of this entire game so far. The jungle is all theirs. Foss is always there taking up that jungle creeps, the neutral objectives, picking up all the scraps that Twisted Mind left behind.
They're also going to take that purple buff there, right? So with Lord coming up in about 10 seconds, long lane is going to be on the bot side. A nice advantage for WAOW GG as we come into this fight. Twisted Minds is going to need to be able to do something about that bot lane. If WAOW GG wants to try to drag this on a little bit, it can fall into their favor.
Starting out with that Lord, they're dancing, they're pulling, they're getting that reset.
Coming around the backside here.
Oh, they don't see it though. Foss, they find it. Hide almost got the shadow on, but they wasted the traction pulse. Now Deja Vu trying to zone everyone back. There's a lot of damage getting hit on, but no more traction pulse to start things in motion. AOG misses their target, misses the mark as Livin taking the brunt of the damage. Numenon Blast will charge up, stopping the army into place. They will be surviving just by a little bit. But Hide coming from the flag, go on to Mike Wazowski, able to take Deja Vu out.
Rika.
It's just a matter of time. There's 3 members down for WAOW GG. Twisted Minds.
It's all on Rika right now.
They're going straight for the base. They're going straight for the base. You got the top side as well.
All right, gonna try to move things around.
No,
Look,
Rika,
1-1 on the
Rika,
bot
Rika.
side. 1-1 on the back side. Gonna go for the back door. This is a base
Rika
race
versus
as
Miss Meow.
we speak. Gonna try to pull them back. Rika maybe has to go back to base because now Twisted Minds up on the top side, pushing in as well.
They're breaking through this T3. It's Foss against 3. T3 down the mid side. Will get taken out. But they're targeting onto the throne. Foss takes down Livin.
Rika.
Into base. Rika comes in unstoppable again. It's Rika against Luna. One more hit. Rika will fall.
Foss
It's
back on the field.
against Lunar. This looks like it's it. Twisted Minds. They have the minutes coming through. It's Foss against 2. Will not be enough as Mena still stays on top of the Mongolian team.
We asked for a nail biter. We asked for a match down to the line, down to the second, and both teams gave that to us.